All right. Let's take a look here. Marvette, let's open up your thing. You open it up.
Okay. But I don't want to...
No, you don't want to contaminate. Let's loosen up. So look here. The fat end is the mouthpiece.
Oh,
so you don't touch the fat end. It's also the shorter end.
Okay.
There's a tail. The tail is what you can touch. The thin end, touch all you like. The fat end, you don't touch at all. In fact, you shouldn't touch it past the little cup.
Right.
On the thin side. You should be further away. No! Further away. You're going the other way, the wrong
I'm trying
way.
to open and touch this end.
Touching it over here.
You should only touch it there. That's what I said. Only there.
Let's see there. Reverse happens easily.
So if I take this all off and then I open it.
So this confusion is very, very common. You're touching the small end only. You're never going to touch the large end. This dispose of.
Okay.
Go ahead. Now you have a pouch. And you're going to get used to this. So you open the pouch, and you put this in head first, fat end first. So, and then you just lay it down to the side of it, so it's diagonally in here, and then it closes quite easily. And then you can take off the tag here. I'll take that off before I send it out. So this is, now these are all handmade, hand embroidered pouches. This is a very serious instrument when you treat it seriously. So you're going to hold it only by the small end. You take it out of the pouch by the small end, and you push it into the pouch, holding the small end. You never put your fingers in the pouch. You open the pouch with the outside, look, like this, and you puff it up like that. You put this in like that. You take it out like that and close it. You treat it like a sacred object, okay? So now, Christian's going to now demo. Let's see what happens here. And I've got this, doggone it, I keep forgetting, sorry about that. Okay, here we go. So, I hope you heard that stuff all right. Let's go over it again later on. But basically, take the kazoo out of the, it comes to you like this, in a thing like this. And then you're going to have a pouch, which looks something like this. They're all handmade, so don't hawk me in China which particular design you got. There's no two designs exactly alike, so you get what you get. It's one of a kind, and you get a kazoo, which is a million of a kind. Okay, this is a metal kazoo, and with a replaceable diaphragm, but you don't have to. Don't worry about it, because by the time you graduate from this, you'll be into something else entirely. Your nice pouch. They go together. So this comes out, goes into the pouch. We've covered that. And it goes in so that it goes in diagonally. It always goes in fat side first. You always hold the small end. So I'm going to demo that with mine here. This is 1,000,000 years old, this kazoo, and I'm holding it by the small end. Let's do this. Hold it by the small end. Small end only. Never hold it beyond this. See this thing here? You don't even touch this. This guy here, you don't touch this. You don't touch past there. That's as much as you can touch of this thing. In fact, I want you to do exactly that. I want you to take it like this. Put your thumb, your right thumb, underneath, but not under the bell, not under there. Just ahead of it. Okay. Then you're going to lightly and gently hold it with your finger, your forefinger like this. You're going to wrap your other fingers around, but they are actually going to be movable because you're going to use those to vary your sound. Then you're going to reverse bell with your other, like this, to cup. It's called cupping. And now, before we do any of that, we're not going to do any kind of blowing cool at all. At this moment, first thing we're going to do is just hold it, well, where it's comfortable. But on the other side of the bell, on the bottom of the bell, not the mouth end. The reason they make this small on this end is because you don't know how to control this, so automatically they control it down to that size for you, which means you can't get it larger, which means there's really fat notes you can't make with this. We'll talk about that when we get to wooden kazoos. Meantime, they've made it automatic, so all you're going to do is blow into this thing and drive yourself nuts. Can't get a sound. So what do? First thing you do is you get on the telephone to the kazoo company, right? in Kazoo, Michigan, which is where it happens to be. Isn't that right? Kazoo, Michigan?
Kalamazoo.
Kazoo.
Oh, Kalamazoo.
Say it right.
Kalamazoo.
Kazoo, Michigan. All right. They get on the phone. You get on the phone. $3 call. You get on the call and you say, my kazoo is broken. Please send me another one. They say, what did you do? I said, I blew into it and then nothing happened. And they say, do you own a trumpet? And I say, no, I don't. They said, well, if you did own a trumpet, you'd be sending that back too. Because nothing works like that. Nothing, not even a reed instrument actually works totally by itself. You have to do something. The flute, if you just merely blow into the flute, is going to make no sound. I mean, the transverse flute, it's going to make no sound at all. The kazoo, if you merely blow into it, will make no sound. Watch. It's very simple. No sound, eh? Well, there's a kind of a sound of air rushing through. If this pleases you, by all means continue use. Meantime, if you want to get a sound out of it, what it is a sort of it's a warped version. It's a comb, a pocket comb, with tissue paper that has been warped into a musical instrument. Okay, that's essentially what this is. Let's put 3 fingers on the top to make it stable. And we're going to keep our pinky up because we are doing what with it? Why? We're putting our pinky up.
I'm having tea.
We're having tea and it's delicate. Okay. So just to remind ourselves, this is a delicate, and seriously, it's a delicate thing we're doing here. It can be delicate. It can be we can go for Baroque.
I want to go for Baroque.
Yeah. We can go for Baroque, or we can go for swing, jazz, anything like that. Classical, modern, all sorts of stuff, pop sounds. But you have to know how to control this little beast. And the problem is that it isn't much in itself. In fact, it's nothing but a comb, a plastic comb, with a piece of your mom's wax paper, okay? That's all it is. So, what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to get a sound out of here. Are you ready? This way. Don't do it yet. On sound you're looking for, listen carefully. You're going to try to duplicate the sound. You got it? Sort of? All right, for first try, not bad. First moment at it.
Yeah.
Hey, not bad.
I heard.
Now, what we're going to do is going to go up and down. All right, now even higher. That's good. Now, not too hard because you'll bust the membranes. You got to be careful. Yeah. Now we're going to go like this. Just go. The horse thing. You do first. Well, if you don't know the bugle call, it's okay. You got some sounds out. That's what I'm interested in. I don't care about the actual call. Now I can hear the problem, which is you don't have there's a burst at the front, the top of the thing. The way to get that is to make a D in your make a D, but don't say D. Make it as if it's a D coming out. Do, 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 do. And the way is, even more. Actually, say instead of saying duh, say it's kind of like a Dutch the, duh, duh, do, 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 duh. Now go di, now go da, now do. You'll find that's the strongest. So watch, we're going to go do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Now I did something that you didn't do, which is diddle. I diddled when you guys doed. Now wait! I know, it sounds ridiculous.
I heard that.
But actually, I can go 30 years on this, and you still wouldn't get all the stuff. You wouldn't master all the tricks of the trade in this thing. The kazoo is amazing. There's over 1,000 different tricks that I happen to know with the kazoo that I can do with it. Here's one of the things called diddling. Up high, down low. No, without the kazoo. Now do it the way as if you were an Arab woman saying goodbye to your husband who's riding off on a camel. And do it in here. No, you did the trill. That's a trill.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Come on. Into the kazoo. That's it. Now lower. Now lower. Good. Okay, now try this. But you did a trill.
I'm sorry.
Which is okay. That's what I call the Puerto Rican. That's the Puerto Rican trill.
Oh.
Yes, well, you can say Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. You have it. Puerto Rico. Rico. Ricky. Oh, Ricky. Like that. So now you say that. Watch what happens. Go ahead. Yeah. Try it. I dare you.
I can't do that.
Just blow past your tongue. Talk, sing past your tongue. That's close enough. That's okay. We'll get there. Now we'll do a simple tongue block, which is dit with a full D, not a th, which is what you were doing before. So Dutch D is duh. This is the d. It's wait. The tongue is back in the palate a little more than it is for the duh. The duh is down at the bottom of your front teeth, your top teeth.
Is at the top, huh?
And then it's right where the palate and the teeth join. On the palate side of that, that's where your tongue should land. Duh, duh, duh. It's different. It's a higher, crisper duh. As opposed to they both did this. But one is a sharper and stronger and harder duh. Now we'll go to a sharp duh. The heart is way up in the palate, it's mid-palate. And it gives a buzz to it it's very, very tough on the tongue. Now curl the tongue, you get this. Okay, now roll the tongue back. Roll the tongue back like this into the palate, up like that.
Literally roll it?
It's upside down. My tongue is upside down.
Open your mouth and show the camera.
My tongue is upside down. And it does that. Then you take your tongue out like this, like that, and almost like that, and droop your mouth so there's no muscle tone. Tighten up your muscle tone, you get something else. Your cheeks will do other things and so on. Now let's look at the outside of the kazoo. This is all your tones up in here. Now you're going to use this by holding the kazoo like that. Now I'm aiming it this way, look. When I let it to myself, you can do this on an airplane, nobody'd care. What's that, man? Oh, sorry. No, it's okay because I'm an official blues person. Can I get a flight attendant here? I need a bass. Yeah, you can do that on an airplane, sure. So that is the basic thing, and seriously, I'm quite serious about it. This is an important element. To put that hat on, the cool blues hat is an essential element. You must wear it, and I will send it to you, and I have some that are special made.
Share. I'll give you my hat when you're ready.
I got special made, and they are really, really cool blues hats. And I have some that are made in Oh, I have some that are made in plaids and rough cuts and all kinds of cool blues hats. And I'm going to put them up on the website very, very soon. Really soon, like today or tomorrow. Yeah, so this is the essentials. Now, of course, also the sunglass, the sunglasses, the mirror sunglasses, those are mirror Air Force sunglasses. They do need to be, unfortunately, actually Air Force issue in order to be legitimate blues sunglasses, and they have to be no later than 1960, let's say 64 in manufacture. They've got to be made by the U.S. government contractor, the contractor of the U.S. government. So that's, I know it's hard to get those. I can get them for you. I'm not sure where, but I can get them. I know I can. I know some people who used to be supply sergeants in the Air Force. They should have some flying around their garage somewhere, laying around somewhere. Supply sergeants, that's the place to get things. You know, the supply sergeants have it all. They get it all. They have warehouses full of stuff for sale. It's amazing. Yeah. So, what else can I tell? Oh, the kazoo. That's basically that's another. The plastic kazoo is $1 cheaper. So, I mean, if you buy if you want to save $1, you can get the plastic kazoo. It's $1 cheaper. And I do want to show you the other kazoo model, which is this one here, which I'll demo later on in a few minutes. Actually, I'll demo. This is the electric kazoo, which when you play it, throws about 10,000 volts of electricity through your body, causing you to go. It's called the Jimmy Jolt Electrified Kazoo. Yes, yes, it's very effective. Unfortunately, it sometimes is a one-way trip. Now, let's see. The other thing I was going to do is these harps. So I've got the harps now set up.
So that's a different video?
Yeah. Hey, good. Let's try that.
Try which?
Well, I'll demonstrate something about the kazoo that's different. Other than, see, the harp, you only have the one choice with the harp, which is you've got to know the notes. And with the song, you have to know the lyrics.
Yeah.
Let's do Some Enchanted Evening, for instance. And where do the lyrics stop? Wait. Some enchanted evening, you will meet a stranger across a crowded room. Lyrics fail me. Oh, let's do this, something we all know.
I don't know the rest of it.
All right, how about this one?
I don't know.
Do you guys just sing into this? Why don't you try that and see what happens? What song do you know that comes to mind right away? Anything that comes to mind. See.
Zippity doo dah came to
I don't know that one. Do you know this song too? No. It's close. Yeah, close.
I can hear my thing making noise.
Let's try Wim Away. key.
That's what.
And try it like this here. All right. So you do like this. Ready? Key of C.
You need somebody to hold it.
I'll do it here. All right, let's do it a cappella with instruments. Now you do a different part.
Am I in the right one?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's it.
Okay.
Wait, sing it. Sing it. Wim away. Don't worry about this. Just sing it. Now watch. Here's a big secret. Here's a big secret. Watch what I'm doing. Suppose this was a microphone. Wim away. See what I'm doing?
Yes.
I'm barely making it vibrate. Wim away. Try that. Just sing into it. No, not into it. Not like this. Sing. Wim away. Now hold it close as if it's a mic. Wim away. Just talk normally, sing normally. Wim away. Now get it a little closer, tiny bit closer. Wim away. A little closer. No, I see you went to like that. This is the noob mistake, the noob error, the big noob error is what you just did. And I wanted to point that thing.
Oh, you wrap your lips around it?
You go archaic. Which means that archaic, what happens is every noob sculptor who tries to do a sculpture head, the very first one they do, the lips are always like this. Always. So when you play, naturally, you're going to want to go, you go like this, and like that. Wrong. You keep your face totally normal, natural, and relaxed. Above all, relaxed. If it's not relaxed, it's not going to come out right. I'm not doing anything with my lips to purse them. Your lips are pursed. They're like, it's like you want to blow a horn. It's not a horn. It's a microphone close up. I'm walking on the railroad all the livelong day. I'm not moving. I'm not doing my mouth pursing it at all. There's no embouchure. As soon as you put embouchure to this, it changes what happens so radically that you'll be in a different mode, a different modality. You can't do it. If your lips are not relaxed, it's not going to contact right. Barely touching. You hear it. And you can push it a little further, but your lips should be completely relaxed and soft. Your breathing should be totally natural and normal, and you're just humming to yourself. It's not exactly humming. Don't forget, it's not humming. It's not blowing. It's kazooing. It's different. You're vibrating a membrane. It's different from singing, but not much. You're looking for that sweet spot of vibration of the membrane. Watch. Do do da do up do da do da do up do 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 your starting point. That's your 0. Then from there you can do all kinds of manipulations of face and mouth and this kind of thing. But you have to have a 0 starting point. And your tongue, the things I showed you, those are done all relaxed. They're not done all tense and uptight. And if you would smile during the song, smile now. Look, frown, taught, and just be normal, natural. You're singing through a microphone is how you're doing, how you can think of this. The microphone is doing a little bit of vibration, and it somewhat amplifies, or seems to amplify what you're doing. It doesn't really, but it seems to amplify it. It cuts it. It puts a cutting edge on what you're doing. And the reason is because it's creating an even rougher waveform than your voice. The voice, human voice, is a very, very rough, very complex waveform. And this is putting a sawtooth in there, and it's really getting that, it's cutting through because of that. Okay, so that's it on the essentials of the kazoo. I will cover more at the ICWA.
The kazoo essentials.
Yeah.